What's going on, everyone? It's Coach Sauce here, bringing you playoff action in the Little Cup. That's right, we are here for game 1, and we are facing up against none other than C.E.M, which is part of the Kanto division. So we haven't played them yet this season, which is pretty cool. And so C.E.M, coached by Charlos, they have some pretty cool unconventional strategies, and looking forward to this game. We've looked at and seen what they've done. They've got some cool stuff, you know. They got a speedy Abra, very sturdy nose pass, and some tricky things that Eve's done, you know, involving weird Pokemon like Seal. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the team builder and figure out what we did to combat C.E.M for our first game of playoffs. So, starting off here, we have Dilbert, our Drilbur. We noticed that he has the capacity to run some Stealth Rocks, so we wanted to make sure we had a spinner, just to make sure that, you know, any of that residual chip damage is gone. So we also wanted to bring Rocks because he doesn't have really a clear Rapid Spin or Defog, not that much tech in terms of hazards, so wanted to capitalize on that, as well as Mold Breaker being a pretty decent ability to use against Nose Pass, since it will break through Sturdy, and so thought that this was a decent bring. We're going max HP, max attack with Focus Sash. We just want this to be a bulky boy that can hopefully get up a speed boost with Rapid Spin and start firing off attacks. So after him, we have Prince Hippo, the Slowpoke. Now, Slowpoke, I love Slowpoke. This guy, very, very tanky. Regenerator, the leftovers, max HP, max defense again, and we're running Trick Room as well as Teleport. Now, we have been scouting Harry, we have been scouting the team, and he has the highest kill leader on his team being Seal. And so that guy has been running a really cool Perish trapping set with Whirlpool and the like, and so we did not want to fall into that this week. So Teleport, nice little move to get out of there, and it helps us set up Trick Room and get out with last priority so that we can bring in whoever we want pretty safely. And then we're rounding off the attacks here with Scald for the burn chance, as well as Shadow Ball for some good coverage against the rest of his team, and that special defense drop chance. So after him, we have big ol' Stank with an Eviolite. Pretty standard set here. We're running max HP, again, bulky, max attack. We have a little bit of a bulky Trick Room core this week. Bringing Knockoff, Pursuit, because he has, you know, Yamask as well as Abra, and some other people that, you know, wouldn't really appreciate a good Pursuit trap, as well as bringing Fire Punch for the Fungus, Scorpy, and Carablast. Lots of fire weakness there, and Shadow Sneak for priority. Shadow Sneak, basically, if you chip off any Focus Sash with Stealth Rocks, like Abra goes down to 1 Shadow Sneak, very frail. So needed that for the priority, and thought that is a good move to round things out. After him, our second Trick Room offensive, we have Ole, which is our Cufant with a Life Orb. Thought about bringing Choice Band on him, but since we're under the influence of Trick Room, hopefully, we want to be able to switch attacks and really take a commanding position. So we're just going off with max HP, max attack, Iron Head for stab, play rough, Power Whip, and Rock Slide. Great coverage moves across the board. With Sheer Force, this guy is going to do some damage. So that's Ole. After him, we have probably my favorite Pokemon of this season so far. He's just been putting in so much work. It's Dane Cook Jr. It's Dane Cook Jr. He's got a choice scarf. Max attack. Sorry, special attack. And, you know, rounding out the speed, making sure that we're faster than who we can be faster with in terms of who gets scarfed potentially. Rounding it out with just our simple attacks. We got Volt Switch, Thunderbolt. We have Dark Pulse this week. Again, Yamask, Abra, other people that do not appreciate the dark type. And then rounding things off, he has people like Fungus as well as Pick-a-Peck, who, you know, if we catch with a Hidden Power Ice, it's not the worst. So thought that it would cover quite nicely with our typing. So that's Dane Cook Jr. And last but not least, we have, I'd say the filler Pokemon this week. It was like a toss-up between bringing Magby or Shelmet, but ultimately we decided for a little more offense, and we brought Swagby. And this time we are slapping a choice band on him. We're going dual chop, and this is for the Jano, as well as in case there's a Focus Sash that we can hopefully break, as well as Thunder Punch being very good this week against Seal, Pick-a-Peck, Mach Punch for priority, and the Nose Pass, as well as, you know, other dark types, and lastly, big damage Flare Blitz. So running Vital Spirit this time, just to make sure that we do not, on the off chance, get spored by Fungus. So that is the team for this week. So without further ado, let's go and check out the replay and figure out who's going to come out on top. So we have the Sauce Boss versus Juan Carlos, and we see that he's bringing a very familiar team. So familiar, in fact, I think if you looked at the PokePace channel, he might have just said refer to last week's teams. Doing a little bit of prep, he has brought the exact same team, and this is the not an exception. So with that being said, we really only prepped for the Seal, so we're hoping that it's the exact same team, but let's just get into it. So looking at this, I'm deciding I want to start off with Drilbur just because it's our lead, has Sash, and we don't want him to get up rocks for free. So this happens, and he goes into Nose Pass, which is great. I have Mold Breaker. I think about firing off an Earthquake, but I'm pretty sure he's going to switch, so this gives me a chance to get up my rocks. I go into Prince Hippo for this exact scenario. I know the Whirlpool's coming. He gets up his Parasong, and we start off putting up a Trick Room. And so he gets off a nice Protect, you know, anticipating a hit, but we give ourselves a nice opening to bring in Helioptile, Dane Cook. Now, I was thinking about bringing in either one of my Trick Room Assaulters, but I didn't actually think that it could break through the Seal quite as effectively as just a Helioptile. And based off the Whirlpool set, I didn't think it was too offensive, and if that was his only coverage move, Dry Skin covers that. So Volt Switch as well, able to get us out of any type of trapping scenario. So Scorpy comes in, takes a lot of damage from rocks, and the Volt Switch is down to 50%. And this gives us time to bring in Ole. Nose Pass switches in to take the Rock Slide. But with one turn of Trick Room left, and because we're slower, we can get off the Iron Head, and we're up 6-5. So in comes Fungus. I don't want to get spored, but he hits me with a Foul Play, and that does buttloads of damage. Choice Band plus max Adamant Nature attack against Magby's 37 base defense. Basically, we're killing ourselves here. So that was a really good play. Uses Protect to Scout. Again, very good. Probably sees that we're locked in, and so switches out to Seal, which is honestly great switching. And we do not want to save Magby out for no one. Again, we can just freely switch in Dankook Jr. against that seal because of its move pool. And we get off a free Volt Switch, so we can bring out our Slowpoke. Dano comes in. I'm fearing a crunch, but I'm max defense, so I'm hoping that I can take some hit. But he goes into Dragon Tail. And so now I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to try and get up a Trick Room. Realizing that although it's -6 priority, so is Trick Room. So although it's kind of funny, I think I could have essentially walled out this dino by continually going into Slowpoke, because the amount of damage I was taking was not enough thanks to Regenerator. And so we could have potentially Life Orb stalled him. But we get out into Swagby, and that's fine because we have the dual chop ready. So Fungus comes in. At this point, I'm okay with just letting him go, thinking that dual chop would do enough damage, but we miss, unfortunately, which is fine. So we bring in Big Ol' Stank just to avoid any type of toxics. We get the knockoff, which is big, and knock off the leftovers. We get a nice lucky burn on the Fire Punch here. But again, we don't get trapped. So again, Dankook Jr. is the freest switch. And because it's scarfed, if he decides to switch, this gives us any type of priority to select any move we want. So Abra comes in. We switch back to Big Ol' Stank, get the Shadow Sneak, again, just crushes Abra. And we finish off with a super effective Fire Punch. So overall, we win this game 5-0. Yeah, very good game, I think, and commendable effort and game as well from you, Charlos. So that was GG's. Oh my gosh, the hair's just flying. Yeah, GG's, Charlos, Harry. You know, very good season. I always love the teams you make, just in terms of how they're structured. You have like a very cool psychic, dark, bug, poison type of like team archetype. You know, usually people like to go for like a fire, water, grass core. Other people opt for steel as well as fairy and dragon. I like your offensive typing here whenever you draft teams, and you have some very cool ideas. So good luck in season 7. Thanks for the game, but we are moving on to our next round, which I'm pretty sure, after looking, we are facing off against the other Canadian left in the bracket, the only one left. Very sad, but it has to be done. We are facing off against our brother Wilfie and the depressed Dunsparces. And those games are always intense. Let me tell you, the amount of prep work, he's a very strategic thinker, and it's always a super fun time playing those games because you honestly never know what's going to happen. So, good games again to Charlos, and looking forward to facing off against Wilfie in the upcoming round. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. As always, it's super awesome doing these videos, and it's nice getting back into the swing of playoffs. So yeah, that's all I got, I guess. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Go Raichu!